Hi YouTube. I decided to start making some neckers. I've made some neckers in the past. This is one that I kept that I've carried for quite a while. Usually carry this when I'm out kayaking because it's much easier to get to a neck knife than it is to get to a belt knife. When you're wearing a life vest and your hips are down inside the kayak and everything. Um, but about the only time I ever carried this knife was when I was kayaking, because literally it's a pain in the neck. I mean, the thing weighs 4 ounces or so. Um, it's got a heavy-duty sheath. It's got a 1/4 inch thick brass guard. The steel's a little bit over 1/8 of an inch thick. It's just way too overbuilt to be a good necker. Let's weigh it right quick. 4 1/4 ounces. And there was a couple other things that I didn't like about it besides the weight. The fact that, I built the neck cord to where it was adjustable with these prusik knots. There's a prusik knot on each side. And then I doubled them up to where there was two pieces of the cordage to kind of spread the weight out across your neck. But it was still too heavy. That and the fact that it didn't, paracord cord's pretty strong stuff. And I was always a little bit nervous having this basically a rope around my neck. If that rope ever got caught on something, I guess I could try to pop the knife out and cut the rope before it strangled me. That's probably a one in a million type of deal, but still I didn't like that. So what I did was one day I was putting together a knife. It was a small game knife, and it had a maple handle, and I put an aluminum guard on it just to do something a little bit different. And I just kept noticing how light this knife was. And I thought, hey, with a little bit of, shorten up the blade a little bit, make the handle a little bit smaller, put another aluminum guard on it, make it a 3/32 inch stock, and this could be a really nice lightweight neck knife. And so I started playing around. I made a couple of them, just to try them out and see how much they weighed. And what I found was that I could fit a Hidden Tang knife 2.45 ounces. So I could make a neck knife that was a full-size knife with a Hidden Tang, a full-size handle. I've got, I can just barely get my hands into an extra large glove. So, a full-size handle and with a guard, and come in under 2.5 ounces. By using 3/32 inch stock, a Hidden Tang, light wood, this one's got hickory, I really like hickory an awful lot, an aluminum guard and a pin, and boy, I've been carrying these around an awful lot lately, and I'm really liking them. I've got two different models. This one's is mine, and well, actually three, I guess, because there's two different sizes. But these came from Murray Carter's 101 Knife Designs book. So I decided to make a couple of them and see how I like them. And to tell you the truth, I'm really starting to like them. I really am kind of fond of the guard myself, the extended, a regular type guard. But this right here is one heck of an alternative to that. If you don't like the full-size guard, these ones, they're really nice. This deep finger choil, and then this portion right here, really acts as, it acts to take this guard and put it in two different places. So when you grab here, your middle finger, now we'll try to do it left-handed, your middle finger takes up some of the load, and then your index finger takes up the other half. So when you go, if you were putting any kind of forward pressure on it, the pressure that would normally go on your index finger in a regular guard setup is now split between these two fingers, and it actually works out really nice, and I'm growing pretty fond of it. But these also, I made these out of 1/16 inch stock. They are full tang. They've got a couple of they're not so much lightning holes in the tang, but they are epoxy rivet holes. Personally, I think that a 1/16 inch or 3/32 of an inch thick stock is more than strong enough for what I would use a neck knife for. You know, going back to this, my old one, an 1/8 of an inch stock. An 1/8 of an inch stock on a 3.5 inch blade with a tiny little handle like that is just really overbuilt for a neck knife. I mean, if you build a neck knife so that it'll split wood, you know, with a batten or with knot, I'm not too sure I want to carry that around my neck, because it would turn into a pain in the neck after a while. And if the knife is too heavy, then yeah, you'll wear it for a couple of days or a week or something like that until you start getting tired of it. So basically, yeah, these neck knives, I like to make them thin. Think of them more as a light utility knife, like a paring knife with a thicker grind on it. And we're going to take, I've got this one right here that's got a 1/16 inch stock, and this one is slated for destruction in part of this video, and then I'll finish destroying it in another video just to see what that 1/16 inch stock type can handle. Another thing I came up with was the safety feature. Now, this knife right here is, instead of drilling the holes and putting the rivets in like that, or just leaving the rivets out, what I did here was, instead of drilling those holes, was I just made 2 slices right here on the bandsaw. Then, after the sheath was made, of course, then what I did was I heated these end pieces up, inserted a drill bit, just slightly smaller than or probably bigger than the rope, and then stuck it in here and then twisted it to where there's an offset right there. You feed the rope in from the outside, and then I cut this half. So basically what this is a hook, only it matches up real close up in there. And what this does is, anytime you put more than a couple of pounds of force on that cord, that Kydex will open up and allow the cord to slip out. I think it looks pretty good that way, instead of having holes drilled in the ends. And I've been carrying this for about the last couple of weeks, well, not this one, one of these 3 here, and haven't had any problem with this flexing. Haven't had any problem with it flexing or opening up as you draw the knife. So that bit of Kydex seems to be strong enough to hold it in normal use, but yet the second you get into a bind, that's going to open up. And here in a second we're going to test that on my gambrel with the meat scale on it, and see exactly how much force that takes to open these up. Now, the one bad thing about these hooks is that the more times that they move and open up, the weaker that Kydex will get. So it might be one of those things that if you have to use that safety feature more than once or twice, you may end up needing a new sheath. But you're welcome to send the knife back in, and I'll make you a new sheath for it with a new setup like this. Or I can leave these uncut, and then you just won't have that safety feature. You can also adjust these pretty easily. You just pull this in, tie a new knot, and then let the cord hang down. By having the knots on the back, it also won't print through your t-shirt very well, and you don't have that knot on the back of your neck, you know, chafing in anything. So anyway, so let's take this and stick it up on the gambrel. Okay, so the knife's hanging by the cord on the scale. We'll zoom in on the scale here a little bit, see if you can see it or not. And then what we're going to do is pull on the, I'm just grabbing the sheath right there, not the knife, to see how much force it takes to open those tabs up. We've got 20, and they're starting to open. 30, they're almost open. About 37, I think. 37 pounds. And that is what happened to the tabs. So as long as you use less than 37 pounds to draw your knife every day, you should be fine. And 37 pounds should not be enough, to kill you. So then what we'll do is and this is a brand spanking new sheath. It's never had that kind of stress put on it. So this time it would probably be less, but what we're going to do is put it on sideways. Pull it like this and see what the scale reads. $10, $20, about 22 pounds. And it did about the same. Just kind of flexed it open and let the cord slip through. Alright, let's come back to the bench. This should also be a fairly easy modification to an existing Kydex sheath that doesn't have that feature. On this one right here, you could come in, grab my pointer again, you could come in and cut your slot right about here alongside the edge. Just cut it and then heat the edge of this Kydex up with, I use a paint stripper, or a hair dryer should get hot enough, or if you're careful, Bic lighter or anything like that, and then just heat this up enough until you see it start to soften, and then stick a pin or a drill bit in there and then twist it. Let's see. Stick it in like this and then twist it in just a little bit to make that loop. And then of course, once it's twisted and cooled down again, then you would cut right here, cut it across the bottom to make your hook. But anyways, now I get to think up of some good tests for this blade so that I can go ahead and test it and break it and see what that 1/16 inch stock does. Hope you enjoyed it.